good first three quarters for you guys, and then Toronto had the big run there at the start of the fourth. I think it was 24-6.
24-6, yeah.
Obviously, guys are able to regroup there in the fourth quarter. I guess what does it say sort of when a team, when you have that big a lead, a team rallies to come back? I mean, how hard is it, or how impressive is it sometimes to kind of collect yourself and finish it off?
Yeah, no, to me, that was the most impressive thing, right? They had the momentum, and I think, I want to say Brandon maybe hit a three, and then we got an offensive rebound from Nick Richards, kick out for Terry's three. And then, after that, we were good. We played well. So good composure, made a lot of big plays. And, they're hard to play against. I mean, that's their game. They're long, they're quick. They got a bunch of really good individual defenders, and they create turnovers.
A little bit of an unfamiliar territory this season, having a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. Is that just something that will come with experience, putting teams away?
Well, I mean, it wasn't like we were up that much going into the fourth. Now, I mean, that game really started to turn at the end of the second quarter, right? That's when they picked up their intensity, and that's when, I mean, the whole third quarter of the game was like 8, 10, 12. So, I mean, a 10-point lead in this league is not a big deal.
Hey, what about the lift Miles gave you? I think you had a couple big threes there in the fourth quarter, late fourth quarter. You guys can shoot the ball pretty well from three in recent games.
I think the last maybe like 5 or 6 games, our shot profile's gotten a lot better where, early in the year we were scoring a ton in the paint, but we weren't making threes, nor were we shooting that many, and now we're getting a better balance. We're still, I think coming into the game, I'm pretty sure I'm right, they were first in paint touches per game, percentage in the league, and we were second, which is, it's an important part of offense. But then it's obviously your efficiency, how many kick-out threes, which we've been doing a good job with.
I know it's first half, it's still up 20 points in the first half. Coach, what's that like knowing that it's rare for guys to be up that big?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I think what you do is you have the 5 guys on the floor, and you just coach. 20 points in this league it's just not that big of a deal in the first half. I mean, watch the games every night. What you have to do is you have to stay away from what we did. They really turned up their defense in the second quarter. That's when the game changed. It wasn't in the beginning of the fourth quarter. That's when it went from 20 to like whatever it was at halftime, like 10, 12, right? And so it was the last, like 5.5, 6 minutes of the second quarter. So when you're coaching, what you're looking at is who's on the floor, what do we have to do here defensively, what do we have to do offensively. I mean, you're not, at that point in the game, it's all about having good possessions. It's not like you're managing anything. You got to keep playing. So I don't really think about it that way.
And I think you're 8 and 5 this year on challenges. I believe somewhere around there, coach challenges. Just for you, how important is it for you to make those calls, make the games to
Yeah, so that's that's Mike and Nick. They have the monitor there. They do a good job with it. They're on top of it, and yeah, it's a big part of our league now, obviously.
Steve, you mentioned them having a bunch of veteran defenders. Can you talk about what Brandon was able to do against those guys tonight?
He did a good job, and the one thing about him is he's a quick learner. So he had a couple possessions in the first half where he kind of tried to ISO a little bit, and it didn't work out well. And in the second half, he did everything just trying to create action off the ball. And he made one of the biggest shots of the game, obviously, the 3 across from the bench. But he just plays, man. You watch him. Doesn't get frazzled. He doesn't worry about mistakes. He's very focused on the next play. He's just, which you don't teach. That's just, however, that's his makeup. But he's into every dribble at each end of the floor, and he plays with incredible composure.
Coach, went off that question a little bit. You mentioned pregame around the Raptors and our length and versatility. You guys were able to deploy kind of lineups in that shot with Bryce, PJ, Nick, and then Bridges. Can you just talk about the decision in that lineup coming back in the second half?
Yeah, well, you know what, with Mark and Nick both available, then what we have really good roster versatility. We just haven't been able to show it yet. But like for me, the 5 position, and we didn't do it a lot tonight, but we did it some, is it's a combination of Mark, Nick, and PJ. And then the 3 position is, Gordon will start, but, Brandon plays there, but Miles will play there too. So that when we play bigger teams like this, Miles gives us the ability, he can play the 3 or the 4, PJ can play the 4 or the 5, Gordon can play the 3 or the 2, as can Brandon. So we have, and Terry can play the 1 or the 2. So we have really good versatility within our roster.
Coach, you also talked about accountability in pregame. You guys are fighting for these balls, running people up 3-point line. You broke up that Scotty alley in the first half. You just talked about the accountability and how these guys are kind of making that extra.
Yeah, we're not this isn't gonna end up being a great defensive, it'll be okay, but, the major reason was, again, they scored off their turnovers and the second chance points. Our half-court defense actually is getting better. We just gotta, even in the fourth quarter, they had at least 7 second chance points. We've gotta find a way to finish possessions,
A quick question about the challenge at the end. Did they say there, is that landing space on the last, the 3-pointer?
Yeah, that's what he said, yeah. That stuff's hard to me. I mean, no comment. Yeah.
With Gordon, he had 24 points, but he had like 7 of the first 16 shots tonight. Just what about his aggression and what do you see from him when he's playing that way with you guys, especially?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think that what he's doing, and this has been a few games in a row now, is it's both of it, like on his, like when we're organized on the sets, he's got his things he's really good at, and he did that tonight. He both scored and created shots for other people, but it's also when we're just playing ball, his movement without the ball, and again, it's not just him scoring, it's, the playmaking part of it where he gets other guys' shots.
Coach, something I just noted really quickly, come down to some time out to do some zone after. You just talked about that decision.
Yeah, but they scored the first 4 times, so it was, yeah. But we've been doing that lately, and we've been trying to do some zone pressure. Like a couple games, it's helped us. We got messed up tonight. We made mistakes in it, but it's something that, to me, we have to be able to do. And, I want to get to the point where we're more comfortable with it. It's like anything. We haven't done it enough, so we're not that good at it. And then so when we make a mistake, I'm not that confident in it. And the reality is, I do think we're going to need it. And if we're going to need it, I got to stay with it, which I didn't do tonight. But you're 100% right, though.
Steven, being Cody, close?
Yeah, I mean, he's a lot closer. I don't know in terms of like what a timetable would be. I don't know. I mean, he's doing a lot more, and he's been coming through like the harder workouts better, feeling better. So, fingers crossed on that one.